Serendipity means having a happy coincidence. And when I talk about note-taking and personal knowledge management, that means we are finding connections between our ideas, not just our notes. So we can talk the whole day how good note-taking is for serendipity. But can you show it?
Wow, you just find things and like things just pop up, which is like pretty cool. Achievement. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do we see this? Wow. That's amazing. This is actually pretty amazing when you get to do this stuff.
So in this video, we want to show serendipity happening in practice. Let's check it out. As part of my personal knowledge management mentorship program, I encourage my students to create a showcase to show how they are creating their notes, what they are doing, what are the struggles they are having, and what are the things they are finding easy. So in today's video, I want to show one showcase that we had. And the most interesting thing is that William, who will give you the showcase, he just wants to talk how he was taking notes about a book. But in the process of taking notes, using the methodology that we talk in the mentorship, he started to have serendipitous connection between ideas. He could connect the ideas of a book that he was writing and talking about with the ideas of yet another place. And it just happened naturally. So I just want to invite you to sit, relax, and enjoy the process that William will show us, okay?
Hello, I'm William, right? I'm gonna like do a showcase on where I was before and then where I am now. And where I am now is being more interactive with what I'm reading, but also it's kind of just like before I would just read books and I would just like highlight interesting parts and I wouldn't think about them. And now I have a better idea of how I can like interact with notes and interact with ideas from books. This started last week, and this kind of gave me my inspiration for this showcase. Was last week, I was talking to a friend. They asked me if I had read Dopamine Nation by Anna Lemke, and I hadn't, but I bought the book, so I figured, hey, I'm about to get on a plane. I can like spend the next 2 hours just like doing a quick read of the book, right? The goal is just to have fun, right? And be able to like have a discussion with my friends after reading it. And throughout the time reading the book, I realized like, oh, I did fall into like my old habits of just highlighting things and not taking it any further. But I also did like a couple of things that like I did like, right? So I'll start off with like what I did like. And one of the things that I did like was I created a claim. I highlighted something and created a claim about it. So one of the things that I highlighted was in this part, ice immersion gurus such as Dutchman Winhoff have become celebrities in their own right for their ability to immerse themselves for hours at a time in near freezing temperatures. So she's talking about Lemke is talking about pain, but the way I interpreted it was I created this claim to say we admire people who show discipline because we can't. Going through a painful situation. Another example, any influencer can be an example of someone who shows discipline. It can be an example of someone who shows discipline because they had to. Discipline takes consistency. Discipline takes consistency to go up and do work even when it's not fun, right? YouTubers, there's a lot here, right? And the next step would be, okay, to find other things to create notes from. So here's a good one. Discipline takes consistency, show up and do the work even when it's not fun. So this can be a claim. Ooh, look at that. Okay. So that's an example of how to create a claim from that. There are other like very like good parts from this book that I liked. And another part is when you read something, you can see, oh, how did something connect to something else that I already wrote about? So before, I had a couple of cards on honest communication and being honest with yourself. I think I was reading a book on Stoicism, and I was like, okay, this is in there. And in Dopamine Nation, she has a chapter on radical honesty, and she says truth telling engenders a plenty mindset. So we'll just say people who tell the truth and are honest with themselves and others have a positive, have a hopeful outlook on life. And part of this comes from something that she said, and I'll grab it from my FREEBIES now, which is I realized, oh, I can do this. I can like grab things from other parts. It's toward the end. Okay, so here we go. You can take this. What's a plenty mindset? Ooh. Plenty mindset. Create a new card. It's a plenty mindset. And I'll quote it. Am I doing this right? Okay, so now we have this question too, like what's a plenty mindset? But really, we can ask a different question now, and something that I'm curious about, like wanted to know. Plenty mindset versus growth mindset. What's the difference? What's the relationship and difference between plenty and growth mindset? I think Nikki came up with plenty mindset to mimic. I'll take a copy. Copy UX growth mindset. It sounds good. That's what I think, right? I'm just like, she just like copied that. Plenty mindset means growth mindset. Because growth mindset does require you to be honest with yourself. Yeah. Now we can link this to being honest with yourself, right? Being honest with yourself is a plenty mindset and growth mindset. Wow, you just find things and like things just pop up, which is like pretty cool. Because now like I can go into like what's a growth mindset now, and then you could talk about a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. But the next thing that I wanted to talk about was, so we talked about two things, right? When you don't have time, when you're in a situation where you don't have time to like do something and you can like highlight it, make a claim when you do highlight it. So this was like, I highlighted this and then I made a claim for it. This was an example, but it inspired a claim for me. And then we kind of like talked through it a little bit. And then there was the other part, just about the having notes already together, like seeing ideas where you had a note before, and then how does that work? And then we kind of went through this whole idea of just like, where does that lead us to? And now here's the next part where you see like, well, this was an unexpected connection too. And the third part that I want to talk about was unexpected connections, right? So we can say from reading the book and like, what is dopamine, right? Dopamine causes us to seek rewards. Dopamine causes us to pursue things that feel good, right? So this is a claim. But I realize that this also falls in line with Burnout Society by Byung-Chul Han, and he presents this idea of a disciplinary society, right, and an achievement society. So dopamine causes us to feel things that are good. Dopamine nation can be thought of as an achievement society, right? To things that, and then we have this. Then we have to talk about like what is a achievement society, right? So people who pursue that feeling of yes, right? You know it, like you said, yes, like this works, right? So we'll say achievement society, and then here we go. What is achievement society? So we have achievement society, more and more. So this comes from society control. There are two types of societies: disciplinary and achievement. Oh my god, do we see this? There's a disciplinary. So like, we admire people who can tell themselves no, because nobody around us is telling us no. Discipline is hearing no. Discipline is hearing no. This also leads to like some interesting ideas, because he talked about Foucault, and I'm not experiencing that, right? Like, this is like something that I have to like explore more. But discipline is negative. Is a society of negative. Society, the negative modal verb that governs it is may not, and should. Okay, I don't even need that, like, but here we go. So now we got this idea of how achievement society works with discipline society. Now we have wow, that's amazing, right? Now you have, let's talk about a discipline society, right? I think the one thing that I realized is the best way to like talk about something is to talk about like the opposite of it. What's the opposite of a achievement society? A discipline society. What's a discipline society? Discipline society says no. Saying no. That's the best way to put it, right? Saying yes and pursuing more. Saying no and pursuing less. Oh, no. Now we can create this card for burnout society. This is actually pretty amazing when you get to do this stuff. Yeah. Burnout society. Okay, that's cool. I think I went a little over my time, but I think just from this showcase, like, I see how different ideas can connect to each other, even when I'm not expecting it, because like I had an outline written for like what I wanted to do, and I just kind of like let this take me someplace else, which is really interesting to see, like, okay, how do these two ideas like kind of connect to each other, or how do ideas connect to each other that I already have? It's still a work in progress, but I think I'm off to a good start. Thank you for like listening. Thank you for watching.
I hope that William's showcase has motivated you to write a little bit of your thoughts, organize your ideas so that you can grow your ideas. And everything he has shown was not just a randomly creating notes, okay? There is a whole process, there are methods, there are mindsets, all process to create our notes in a way that doesn't create friction to our process, friction in our expression and making sense of our ideas. So if you have any questions about today's video, just leave them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them, okay? So after that, I see you in the next video.